Hello, YouTube. It is me, Raina. I'm here to talk about the most recent episode of Doctor Who. So I think this episode was fantastic. It's called Rosa, and the way they dealt with certain things in this episode, of course, with the racism and with what Ryan and Yaz had to go through, was really heartbreaking and really heart wrenching to see. And I think everyone was on their A game this episode. This episode was written by Mallory Blackman, who is the first woman of color or the first person of color, period, to write for the show. And it's a sad thing to say, but also a great thing to say, if that makes any sense. And I know another episode this season is written by somebody else who is a person of color. His name, I think he's going to write episode 6. And so, if you want to look at who the writers are, I made a video about that a few months ago. So, yeah, this episode was great. I think it covered, it felt like a timepiece, sorry, a period piece, than just a Doctor Who episode. And people will call it preachy. They'll call it virtual signaling, using all these words. But this is history, and also this is happening now. If you look at the news now and look at what happened back then, and not just in that place, but all over this country, all over many countries, injustice is everywhere. But they specifically chose this story, and Chris Chibnall did say that he always wanted to do a Rosa Parks story, and I'm happy that he did. More people can know about her story, and it's such a moment in American history that I'm happy that the show decided to go there and cover it. And when I talk about the language used, by the way, I'm a black person, if you don't know. So this episode was really on my radar the moment I saw set reports of them recording it in South Africa. So when that woman said Negroes, that pregnant pause in that restaurant was damning, and it just really floored me. I did not know they were going to say that word over and over and over again, and that's important that they did. And it's important that Rosa had agency in this episode, and that they were not there to inspire her to sit and whatever. No, it was always going to be her choice no matter what. And I love that. And how Vanette Robinson played her was with the utmost respect and was just amazing. And how, like I said again with Ryan and Yas talking about their experience, and how they deal with racism and prejudice in 2018 UK, and how Ryan always had to sit in the back of the bus, and the doctor and Graham had to sit in the front, and Yaz was kind of always in the middle, and it just really, really put into focus on what this episode was about. And I love how they wrapped it up at the end with the asteroid and saying how she got, that big honor in 1999 from Bill Clinton, and George H.W. Bush was in that too. So I just love how they did that, and this episode was amazing. I don't care what anyone says. The music at the end was needed. That is a particular choice that was on purpose. Andrea Day's song is "Rise Up" is for the Black Lives Matter movement. It means a lot to us, and that song is very important. It was used for that particular moment, and I gotta say the music in this episode was amazing. Once again, the new composer was amazing, and so everything was amazing in this episode. Um, and to me, it's the best episode of this season. So, what are your thoughts on this episode on Rosa? Um, I know certain comments are gonna say certain things. I don't. I really don't care. I'm happy that the show went there and you know really discussed the tough issues in our history as a world, really, but obviously with American history with Rosa Parks. So, bye, YouTube.